Have you ever wanted to play some video games, but nothing seems to be doing it? Modern games don't invoke that same feeling, and the old classics also fail to inspire. Well, if you can relate, know that I've been there too. Quite often, unfortunately. And it got me thinking, a sad thought I don't want to believe, but do I even enjoy video games anymore? And I mean truly enjoy them, for their own sake. I still play video games. I play Guild Wars 2 every day. But how much of that is just habit? Skinner box type mind tricks to keep me in the game. If I wasn't already 10 years invested, would I still play? Why do more modern games seem so uninteresting to me? With these questions in mind, I decided there was only one course of action: to go back to the start, to replay all the big key games that left an impression on me, starting as far back as I can remember, and working my way to modern day to see if I can reignite my love of video games. I've dubbed this exercise Chasing Nostalgia.
Yes, all your favorite characters from Disney's Aladdin are here in this action-packed adventure direct from the streets of Agrabah. Aladdin, Abu, Jasmine, Jafar, the magic carpet, and of course, the big blue guy in the size 3 lamp, Genie of the Lamp. Capcom allows you to enter a whole new world of danger and enchantment.
I still remember the Christmas of '95. I was given the most influential gift I could have ever received, my Super Nintendo. Look, here's a photo of me playing it. Look at me, so young, so full of hope. Aging sucks. Don't recommend. I love my Super Nintendo. I mean really love my Super Nintendo. And I was given a few games that day. Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario World, Tiny Toons Buster Breaks Loose, and Disney's Aladdin. Not fully sure why, other than I know I was a big Aladdin fan. Hell, it's still my favorite Disney movie. I even have all 3 on VHS. Did you know Aladdin had an animated series? Yeah, and it was pretty decent too. But it's not on Disney Plus. You give me freaking Emperor's New School, you gave us Hercules animated series, and then had a crossover with Aladdin. Where's my Aladdin animated series? What the fuck? Sorry, I got off topic. Anyway, I really like Disney's Aladdin. I had the game, so it was the first thing I remembered playing on that Super Nintendo. So it's game number 2 on my list. Now, before I get into the SNES version, I can already hear people saying, "The Sega one is better, it's so well animated, and..."
He's got a sword!
And well, yeah, you're right. Game looks super good, and I'll always advocate for more sword, but let's not dismiss the Super Nintendo version so fast. I can tell you we will hit the Sega version in the future, but this is Capcom during arguably their prime time. And we'll see even more Capcom games as we continue chasing nostalgia. But for now, let's look at Aladdin. I honestly admit I enjoy these lightly animated cutscenes with the written text on it. It's not much, but it does help tell the story, and the lines are pretty close to the actual lines in the movie, though not perfectly. Still, it hits all the key beats well enough. When the game starts, the first thing I notice is how nice the sprite work is. I think it looks great. Aladdin's vest sways in the wind, his little cap takes a second to fall when he does a quick duck. These small little things help add a lot of character to the movements, and I really appreciate it. The entire game does a good job with levels looking how they should compared to the movie. The first few segments you're running from the guards, and as you move up and closer to Al's home, it becomes sundown, similar to the movie. Then you have your Cave of Wonders, which is as you would expect. They have a moment where you stumble across the room with all the gold from the movie. And you even get a little cutscene with the magic carpet, so that's awesome. Then, once you get up to the lamp and you have the "Abu, no!" moment where all goes south, these little animated segments add charm. Then you have an escape segment. The music of this level could have come straight out of Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which is another Capcom game. It was probably my favorite non-movie track. Then you have the riding carpet level, and this one is light years better than the Sega version. The music, the stunning pixel art, the tension of just one false move and it's all over. You You have more control over yourself. This is just peak hype, thrill. I don't know what to tell you. Also, this segment is actually very nostalgic for me personally. It was the first time I can remember asking my parents to help me with a video game. I just couldn't beat this damn level. The falling rocks would get me every time. I still distinctly remember asking my mom to help me, and I remember her doing so and beating it for me. I eventually was able to do it myself later, but I will always remember asking my mom to help, and she did. Thank you, Mom. Then comes the Friend Like Me level, and they used a song from the movie. It's great! This is my favorite level in the game. The music, the abstractness of it all, it's just super fun to me. I love how they just explain it all as Aladdin going into the lamp. I guess it's easier to explain than saying, then they have a musical number. This is no other really way to do it, I suppose. And it makes for some fun levels, so I'm not complaining. So you finish the best animated music segment put to film, and you think maybe a Prince Ali Ababwa level? Jumping on elephants and stuff perhaps? No. Instead, the game goes full fan fiction, and Abu ends up in a pyramid and we have to go save his monkey ass. This was basically just all filler padding for the game, but if this was Aladdin the animated series, then this would be a fine level, because in that show there's a villain called Abismal who hides out in the desert with his Sorry, game, right. So you go through the random, yet enjoyable, pyramid level, save Abu, and now we skip ahead to the level I wouldn't expect, but they did it anyway. I'll be damned. We get a whole new world level, where you fly through the sky and collect gems and just listen to a 16-bit version of the song from the movie. It's not challenging or really even that fun per se, but the nice visuals, the music, and the willingness to stick to the movie is commendable. But if they were going to make a sprite for Aladdin's Prince Ali stuff, why is there no Prince Ali level? Instead, we got this pyramid thing. Oh well, still a memorable set piece. I guess now would be a fair time to talk about the bonus games. If you find the golden scarab in a level, you get to spin the genie wheel. It's always a net gain, whether it's more hearts, more lives, or even continues. It's just freebies. This is one thing I actually like in the Sega version more, because you can actually lose, and when you do, Jafar laughs at you, and that's just fantastic. Then it's the worst day of Aladdin's life. Everything falls apart. He loses his lamp, loses his girl, and almost loses his life. Good thing he still has a sweet ride, so we zoom back to take on Jafar. The last level is pretty intense, with lots of traps and spikes, and the music is pretty good here too. Another fine track I enjoy. It's also these levels where you can teach Iago to not touch your shit. What an asshole! Also, the guards wear purple now. I don't think they are any harder to kill, so it's mostly just a fashion statement, I guess. Then you get to Jafar, who actually has two forms. Again, like in the movie. I tell you, at least when it comes to being accurate to the movie, the Nintendo does what Sega don't. So the fight with Jafar is pretty cool. He shoots down lightning, summons minions for you to bounce on. He also drops versions of his staff that you can use to spring up and hit him. It's not too crazy once you see the pattern, but it's a fun platforming fight. Also, I have to say, I do love when you get a hit on him. He sort of just sits down on the ground and is like, "Oh, come on, man." Then on to the final battle, where he's a big-ass snake. The way they render this fight is very impressive, but you can see the SNES chug sometimes. But it's okay, it's a fun fight. And once you win, they do this fake-out animated segment where Jafar snags you, which leads right into the ending moments of the movie. It's a perfect way to transition from gameplay to story. I love touches like that. Then Jafar gets sucked into the lamp with his cool scaling effect. and won't be back till Return of Jafar, so that's a wrap on him. Then, just like the movie, Genie is freed, and it does a good job staying close to the original script yet again. I love how they even did the goofy hat photo from the end of the film. Man, the attention to details is pretty great, no lie. Then credits play out with Whole New World, and with that, another classic from my past is in the bag. Aladdin on Super Nintendo is a great time, a fairly easy platformer for kids, which means I played it just when I was meant to. A lot of my formative gaming years were a lot of platformers, as you'll see on Chasing Nostalgia, and this just adds to that list. Another probable reason as to why I love platformers. The game runs great, sounds great, looks great. It's a bit short, took me about 40 minutes, and it is a bit easy. I had tons of lives and continues, but it's perfect for young gamers. Capcom did fantastic, as they always tended to do back then. Maybe the game is overshadowed by its Sega twin, but I think Aladdin on the Super Nintendo is a diamond in the rough. Thanks again for watching. If you're enjoying this trek through my personal nostalgia, then be my genie and grant my wish by liking and subscribing. I'll use my last wish to set you free. But jokes aside, I do appreciate it. I've still got plenty of nostalgia to chase. Stay safe out there. Peace.